Nah, me neither. I doubt many of you would know of this game, the movie from which it's based, and I doubt even less of you would care. You see, it's a thoroughly basic early Gameboy title, simple in both look and design that's easier to overlook than an ugly ant as a date for your high school prom. And how do I know about it? Well, Larry Bundy, of course. He told me if there is anyone who would know all about something as obscure as this, it is he. I'll put a link in the description to his channel, which is akin to the tourist board of a provincial North Kent village asking you if you've heard of London. Anyway, thanks Larry. So just what is the source material for Tasmanian Story? I mean, it's got nothing to do with New Zealand Story, no. There's no fat yellow kiwis here to be found, and you won't be zapping bears on balloons or exploring the innards of a frozen whale. No, Tasmanian Story is based on, of all things, a Japanese movie from 1990, which didn't seem to have escaped its native shores. However, the game did. It's so obscure that after literal minutes, yes, minutes of research, way more than I normally do, I couldn't find a single piece of footage, a trailer, or even any production stills of Tasmanian Story. All I could find in English was a few posters, which seemed to feature a couple of fellows about to German suplex a tapir. That, and a couple of pages about the movie, and yes, one of those pages is, of course, Wikipedia. I'm not going to front it. I'm just going to say that I did use Wikipedia as one of my research aids this week. Information about this movie is very sparse indeed. Although, look, it won a couple of awards. Well done, Tasmanian Story. It lasts just 110 minutes, and the movie was filmed by Pacific Link Communications Japan and the Fuji TV network in the Australian winter of 1989. The plot features a 6th grade school student, Soshi, visiting his divorced father who lives in Australia after leaving his job at a huge corporation to pursue a fool's dream of locating the Tasmanian tiger, which is apparently extinct. I can't tell you whether he manages to do it or not, as I can't find any information about the film's plot beyond that, though I suspect, considering the tiger was extinct, he might probably fail. Let's just say he did. The ending of the game gives us very little clues either. While you do see the tiger running across the screen, which is a pretty good clue that it is still alive, a little fella appears down the bottom and completely ignores it. Instead, he decides to inform you, Ralph Wiggum style, that Tasmania is known as the Apple Island. Dude, there's an extinct tiger behind you. That's both really exciting and terrifying. Be a smart ass some other time. Your life could be in danger. Oh, and I guess spoilers. The game itself, which unlike its forefather had a full international release and was published by Fuji Tsunuki Communications International Incorporated, more affectionately known and easier to say as FCI, were responsible for the console versions of some of the Might and Magic, Ultima and WCW titles on the consoles, along with the very underrated puzzler Bubble Ghost. Do try Bubble Ghost if you've never tried Bubble Ghost. Tasmanian Story is simple in its gameplay. Ostensibly, it's a bit like Bomb Jack or Mappy or something like that. You're given a single screen, lots of things, in this case fauna to collect, and there's a horde of gonks to evade. And there's bombs, so that's very Bomb Jacky. And what you can do with them is you can fart them out of your chuff to blow up your pursuers. Not literally, he doesn't actually fart them out. I'm going for the crassest answer. It's how this channel works. You lay the bomb egg by pressing the game's singular action button. Because, yes, there is no jump function at all, which plays into the gameplay quite enormously. You have to plan your moves carefully, else you'll end up trapped and murdered in your platformed oceanic expanse. The game is actually a reskinned version of a Pony Incorporated MSX game called Fruit Panic. The attack methods, the screen layout and the gameplay is very similar. It's not hard to see the similarities unless you're as blind as an Australian flying fox. I have no idea whether Australian flying foxes are blind, but because they're a bit battish, I've gone for that. If enemies are stunned in a certain way, according to the level intro screen's description, a random Antipodean beast will appear for you to scoop up. Do not pick up that koala, it'll give you chlamydia. These are required for you to collect in order to see that wonderfully factual ending I mentioned, so pay attention to those screens, Apple Island message fans. And really, that's all there is to say about this game. It's that simple. It's just 10 levels of, well, this. It's one of those little punchy Gameboy titles that we felt at the beginning was how handheld titles should be. Short and punchy for small bus adventures. And then, we played stuff on the Game Boy Advance and the DS and the PSP and saw they could be a bit more than that. And, well, there's not a lot of reviews, film footage or anything really to talk about beyond what I've already talked about. The game is simpler than a woodlouse wandering aimlessly in a dog turd. And I'm not 100% certain that I can see myself playing it again. It's frustrating to play, it's extremely limited and, well, it's a bit boring. Not even a speed setting can make much difference to the enjoyment factor. So that's Tasmania Story, a game I'll never play again, I've never heard of before, based on a movie I'll never see, and I've never heard of, based on an island off of a country I'll never visit, because, well, I'll just get stung, bitten or punched by one of the wildlife there, because everyone knows every animal in Australia is dangerous. Tasmanian Story then. Yes. Thanks, Guru Larry, you wonderful chap. Like, subscribe, and K thanks bye.